Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Rundown. I will be your host today, Craig DeLuz, coming at you from the West Coast, the left coast, behind the Iron Curtain, otherwise known as the Sierras. But as we all know, I do not do this program by myself.
That's right. My name is Mike Peworski, coming to you live from the East Coast. It's the coast with the most, from the co-host with the most here on The Rundown. 2A views, conservative news, and Craig, guess what day it is?
It's raining tacos from out of the sky. Tacos, no need to ask why. Just open your mouth and close your eyes. It's raining tacos. It's raining tacos out in the street. Tacos, all you can eat. Lettuce and shells, cheese and meat. It's raining tacos. Yum, 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 yum. It's like a dream. Yum, 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 yum. Bring your sour cream.
So, any special plans for Taco Tuesday?
There's a new Mexican taco place that just opened up in town. We're going to hit that tonight.
Ah, very nice. Very nice.
So once we're done here, be heading over there.
I don't know what we're doing for dinner, but I did have a breakfast burrito, so I don't know if that counts for Taco Tuesday.
Oh, was it from like a drive-through or somebody actually made it for you?
Oh, my daughter made it for me.
Ah, there you go. Best kind.
The best kind. She can burn. That's all I'll say. She can burn.
I mean, sometimes homemade food is great, but then sometimes you end up with a green pepper burger, and that's
Green pepper welfare burger.
That's it.
Just ask Eddie Murphy.
Yep.
Excellent, sir. Well, yeah, it's going to be a very, very interesting day. Going to be an interesting show today. Got some interesting stuff to talk about. So let's get into it and start off the way we usually do with a quick shout out to our sponsors.
Yeah, Hitman Industries, hitmanindustries.net. Actually talked to the guys over there today. If you want some AR barrels and rifle caliber, pistol caliber, any length you desire, they got them for you. They've also got all kinds of rifle, shotgun, and pistol barrels available. That's hitmanindustries.net. California Republican Assembly, fighting a good fight behind enemy lines. Now you can take part in California's features today. If you want the best in tactical concealed holsters on the market, get on over to hogholsters.com. That's HAWG holsters.com. Use the discount code The Rundown. That's all one word, no spaces, all caps. Get a nice little discount. And if you want the best in field gear, tactical gear, web gear, law enforcement, fire, security, EMS, whatever it may be, get your group together, get your agency together, place an order at uscombatgear.com, where you can get everything except the gun.
And also want to remind you, if you haven't already done so, please make sure to sign up for the 2A newsletter. Just go to 2anews.us. That's 2anews.us. Sign up for the 2A newsletter and get all your Second Amendment news in your mailbox per day. That's every day for those of you who are urban lingo challenged. But great place to get your source of news. You don't have to go get it. It comes right to you.
Boy, that's a per day mouth on you.
Very funny. Very funny. All right, let's go ahead and kick it off and get on into today's news stories. And we talked about it a little bit yesterday, but didn't really get a whole lot into it. And that has to do with the whole Graham Platner story. That's right, Graham Platner, the candidate for Senate there in Washington. I mean, they're in Maine. Well, let's just say that folks are turning on him, and it ain't looking too good for his future there as the senatorial candidate for the state of Maine for the Democratic Party.
So, Maine Senate candidate Graham Platner is facing sexual assault allegations as a former girlfriend details her accusations against him.
I recognized his level of intoxication, and I knew in that moment I wasn't safe. And I don't think I was safe to physically fight back. He's big, he's strong, and I just had to evaluate my safety and come up with the least worst outcome to the situation. And so I felt like complying for my safety was the least worst option.
Complying for her safety. Of course, Platner denied the allegations as a growing list of Democrats calling on him to drop out of the race.
Wanted to directly address the troubling, serious, and false allegations against me. Any accusation of non-consensual behavior is categorically false. Regardless of the inaccuracy of the reporting, but mindful of the political reality it will inflict, we are taking the time to reflect on the best path forward.
Let's bring in Fox News contributor Bill McGurn. Bill, I thank you so much for joining the program. My question is, why are Democrats ditching him now? And I just want to show the wall because this isn't the first scandal. You got October. The Reddit posts resurfaced about communists, anti-police, disparage rural white Americans. Then you got the disclose of the Nazi tattoo that he had. Then you got what he described about the Purple Heart veteran, mocking them, the Charlie Kirk profile, the Kirk profile, and then his picture, and then you got the sexually explicit messages, the ex-girlfriend who talked about the unsettling behavior, and then you get this. So, I mean, there's been a lot of scandal. Why ditch him now?
Why ditch him now is because, as I think Mr. Fetterman put it, he's like a dead man walking. He's just
and that really kind of nails it. Is that's really the point? Is like this is just like the last straw amongst a whole bunch of stuff. And the thing is, now you've got folks like Schumer, you've got folks like Bernie Sanders who have turned on him. But you know, the interesting thing is, not every Democrat was even with him. And in fact, there's one particular gentleman, Mr. Fetterman, who calls out not just him, but calls out his fellow Democrats who get behind guys like this and other folks who are guilty of sexual misconduct.
But your party was willing, your party leaders, not you, was willing to look past all these other allegations against him, from the other woman who said he grabbed her, to the tattoo, the Nazi tattoo, to all the other Reddit posts that had been dug up. So they were willing to overlook all of that because he was their star.
Yeah, I mean, I refuse to overlook that, but honestly, I would really call Bernie Sanders to apologize for pushing this kind of predator more than anyone he helped him elect, and now apologize to the victims, especially the woman that she claimed that he raped her. So I don't know why you want to keep pushing these kinds of people. Maybe he should consider set a few out and stop pushing these kind of communists and people. And now people, you know, like P. Hustle now, he has been credibly accused of rape. And that's fairly recent, too. That was only less than 5 years ago.
Well, he said the allegations are untrue, but that he's basically reviewing his options. He's obviously going to drop out, correct?
Well, he was already a dead man walking politically. So regardless, now when the entire Democratic Party in Maine has called him to leave, and now also, as far as I know, whether it's Schumer, Gillibrand, and other leadership in the DS and other people have all called him, had to go. He's a dead man walking. I don't know why he's trying to pretend that he's not done too. Even those Pod Save America people that pushed that dirtbag, you know, and they dismissed those things in the New York Times article. Maybe they ought to apologize to the women that clearly they didn't believe, or they dismissed that. I know Democrats that have, you know, back to back endorsed and got all in on Swalwell, and were on the Platner train as well too. So.
The only reason why I played that last one so long was because I wanted to point out the thing that he pointed out is, you know, Democrats seem to have a whole lot of sexual deviancy. I mean, I'm not saying we don't have it on the Republican side, but you're not seeing them getting blown out of the water the way these guys are.
Yeah, and that's the media, right? That's the way the media pushes it forward. I mean, just take a look at what they've tried to do to Donald Trump, what they try to do to Justice Kavanaugh. It's just the way that they go after it. I will say this, Craig. You listen, I'm a big non-believer of the slogan, "When there's smoke, there's fire." I believe when there's smoke, there's smoke, and when there's fire, there's fire. This last little thing that's come up with them, I think, is just smoke, right? That doesn't mean I'm defending this guy's a scumbag, clearly, but everything before this was fire. I mean, you know, hey, he's got a Nazi tattoo. Okay, that's proven. All right, here's the tweets. You know, here's the messages. Okay, that's proven. Here's the infidelity. Okay, that's proven. All this other crap is that came up previous to this was fact. I mean, I don't think there was anybody disagreeing with any of it. They just said they excused it. Now that we have something where there's allegations, we're going to say, oh well, these are credible. I understand the way the mindset is. All the proven facts came out earlier. Nobody had a problem with. Now that there's an allegation, they're gonna turn their backs on them.
Well, one of the things that's important to note is these allegations were made before, and that kind of leads into the second story that I had listed here, in terms of accusations or basically people coming down on the New York Times over their coverage, because she was one of the people that they interviewed. She was part of the story that they told, and where they didn't even really tell the facts or share the facts. This is a piece over at Fox News. New York Times under scrutiny over Graham Platner coverage as accusers speak out against the paper. As I said, the New York Times is facing scrutiny over the growing scandal plaguing Democratic Maine Senate hopeful Graham Platner, as some have questioned what its reporters knew, and one of his past accusers insists the paper didn't work to corroborate her story. Politico published a bombshell report Monday on one of Platner's exes, alleging he sexually assaulted her during their relationship. Jenny Resicott, the one we just saw, claimed in 2001 a drunk Platner entered her home uninvited, had sex with her despite her repeatedly telling him to stop. Platner has firmly denied the allegations. Resicott has said constituted rape. Resicott was one of the women interviewed in the Times report last month about Platner's unsettling behavior. According to the Times, Resicott described positive memories she had with Platner, but said he does not respect women. Those were her specific words. Based on the comments he made that had surfaced, the report also appeared to allude to Resicott's sexual assault allegations. So the thing was, and what I'm wondering is, what is it that made them all of a sudden? I mean, let's put it this way. Here's what it was. The reporter for the Times underplayed and didn't believe her, so she went somewhere else, or someone else interviewed her and found her accusations to be a lot more credible.
Yeah, again, listen, her allegations sound credible, but this is one of those things, Craig, where let's put them in front of a judge and a jury and let's see what happens,
Yes.
or get some agreement out of it, because right now it's just allegations. So again, it's odd to me that we had all these other facts beforehand that everybody turned their back to. Now that there's another allegation that's there, I think, to answer your question, Craig, maybe because of the bad light that's being shed on New York Times, maybe that's it, because we're going after their own now, right? Now the parlayers of bad information are the ones under the gun. So in order for them to defend themselves, they have to turn their back on him.
Well, some of this, I think, is also the backlash that the Democratic Socialists are starting to get, because what they're noticing is these DSA folks are starting to beat Democrats. They're starting to beat longstanding Democrats, and I think the last thing they really want is to have a Senate. Well, first of all, this guy was going to lose to Susan Collins. I mean, I get it. They want to use, or basically they decided that they're going to use a rapist, racist Nazi to go after, MAGA Susan Collins.
Yeah. He'd be one of the perfect bad guys, though, in the Mel Brooks movie, Blazing Saddles. Because they're looking for murders, rapists, racists. Yeah. So he'd be perfect for it. Yeah.
Yes, he would probably be perfect for that. I think, once again, I just think that the fact that they let this guy run, they put him up there with zero vetting. Well, let's put it this, there are other people running in different areas that are I won't say are as bad, but this was a disastrous choice.
Well, yeah, and I think it shows how weak the Democrat Party is. They didn't run anybody against Susan Collins, and they probably could have got somewhere against Susan Collins because they didn't have the money to do it. Right? They didn't have the money to do a statewide, to do the background to find a great candidate. This guy had some organic growth there, so they just went with it.
Yeah.
But now they're embarrassed, and I think it comes back to their low funding.
Yeah, well, there you go. Well, anyway, this is going to make it a lot harder for them to take over the Senate. So that's a good thing. That is actually a very, very good thing. Something I wanted to point out, and this is you're not going to hear a lot about these efforts, about a lot of these efforts that's taking place currently by DOJ. We know that recently they very successfully took down a Mexican cartel gang that was basically heading or running a lot of the Mexican gangs in the state of California. Well, now they've got another big bust that's taken place. This is the group. I want to make sure I don't mispronounce this. This is Murderous Bishnoi. Is it Bishnoi gang wiped out in mass raids across California after barbaric assassination spree. It says here, federal agents crushed the California arm of the vicious transnational organized crime syndicate in a series of stunning raids Tuesday that saw the arrest of at least 11 accused criminals in the Golden State and a dozen more elsewhere. Los Angeles federal agents led the global takedown of the India-based Bishnoi gang, a fearsome global mob blamed for extortion, drug dealing, and the assassination of political figures, industrialists, actors, and musicians in North America and in India. As of 7 a.m., agents had conducted at least 50 raids in U.S., Canada, and Europe, taking down at least 24 suspects, taking them into custody. And I just want to once again give this shout out because you may not know this because the media won't tell you this, but crime is almost at an all-time low. Murders and homicides are almost at all-time lows. The drug overdoses are at all-time lows. And a lot of that, quite frankly, has to do with the president coming in and deciding, well, look, we're going to enforce the law.
Yes, Craig, this is a big bust in California, and I know how you like big busts in California. So this is a great thing. Look, the DOJ, FBI, that's all over this. Another, listen, everybody wants to attack Kash Patel. Look at what they've done. Look what's happening in California, and just with this case alone. Yet I'm sure the topic of the story will be Kash Patel at the World Cup game rather than him, doing his job. It's just absolutely ridiculous what the media covers.
Well, right, because they don't want you to know that the economy is actually doing well. They don't want you to know that gas prices are coming down. They don't want you to know that crime is going down. They don't want you to know that we're reducing the size of the federal government. They don't want you to know any of this because they don't want you to like Donald Trump.
Yeah, it's amazing how those things like crime go down and the economy gets better when you deport a couple million criminals.
Funny how that works, huh?
Yeah.
Well, by the way, rent's going down. I mean, all across the board, things are doing better.
Yep.
I'm not saying they're doing great. I'm not saying that they couldn't be doing better, but things are better than they were, and they're looking pretty good, and they seem to be heading in the right direction. How about y'all cut the brothers some slack?
That's it.
Not saying, just saying.
That's it. Yep.
And then you've got this story here. Speaking of DSA, or Democratic Socialists of America, you've now got this incoming mayor, or she won the Democratic primary. She's a Democratic Socialist. She won the primary, and she is now she's more than likely now going to wind up being the mayor there of Washington, D.C. And at one point, she had passed and helped support a resolution that condemned anti-Semitism. Well, now she's saying that she regrets that vote. And if she were doing it today, she would not vote to condemn anti-Semitism.
And without diving too much into it, if this vote came up today, I would not vote for it. And I firmly believe that anti-Zionism and criticism of Israel is not anti-Semitism. And I think that it's so important for us in this moment to be clear on that and to stand firm in that. And that's where my values are, and that's what I believe strongly. And so,
So one of the things that they seem to think that, well, okay, we can criticize Israel and their government, and that's not anti-Semitism. But when your criticism is a flat out lie, when your criticism is misrepresenting what they are, what is going on. Yeah, I'm sorry. And you're doing it because they are Jewish, then yeah, there's a problem.
Yeah, I mean, how ridiculous is it? It's not anti-Semitism to say that I dislike Israel and all the Jews. What? You're an idiot. You're an absolute idiot. But this is also the same place that reelected a man who was seen smoking crack in the mayor's office, convicted of it, and then ran for another office and was elected. So I mean, that's the voting mentality in DC. Then it's the voting mentality.
Are you telling me that you are bigoted against crackheads? Crackheads are people too, bruh.
They're not crackheads. They're rock monsters.
Rock monsters. Okay. You win. Okay, well, hey, folks, that now brings us to our parting shots. Parting shots are brought to you by Hog Holsters. Go to hogholsters.com. Use the discount code The Rundown, all caps, no spaces, one word, and get your Hog Holster today. Let's see. We got a few of these here to share with you. This first one here, in case you have not seen the finger-pointing thing going on over in the WNBA in defense of Caitlin Clark. Says here, breaking, WNBA changed its logo to Sophie Cunningham, pointing after her altercation became the first interesting thing ever to happen in a WNBA game.
Listen, if you want to see racism, a textbook example, go watch a WNBA game. I mean, the calls that they lay against these white women there, while these black women are just outright, committing battery, like just throwing punches and elbows when the ball's not even in play, and yet when she raises her finger like this, they give her a technical. It's just absolutely ridiculous.
Right. That is, you are 100% correct. It is ridiculous. This to Europe as they are dealing with their heat wave. Come and take it. And then you've got George Washington here with an air conditioner.
He got a good old window shaker.
There you go. What we call them out here, we call them swamp coolers.
Swamp coolers? All right, we call them window shakers.
Okay. All right, here's one. This is a gentleman. His name is Representative Jason Smith, and he's talking about Democrats who basically voted against the family tax relief.
Family of four who makes less than $73,000 will pay $0 in federal taxes. And every single Democrat in the House and the Senate voted against that provision. We also increased the child tax credit to $2,200 and made it permanent. And every single Democrat voted against it. We created Trump investment accounts for every new child born in America, $1,000 seed money to transform their life, and every single Democrat voted against it. They are the taxing party. They are not the party about affordability. They're not the party about working families.
Folks, do you get it yet? Do you get Democrats? Do you get it yet? Do you wonder why your benefits are so good? Well, compared to what benefits used to be, it's because they want to keep you poor. Because when they keep you poor, they control you.
Right.
Okay? It's all it is. They're trying to keep you down and keep getting that vote from you, because instead of getting you $73,000 worth of tax credits, they're going to give you $30,000 or $40,000 a year in benefits. So you live at the poverty level, but they still control you.
Exactly. And they're going to make you dependent on those benefits.
Yep.
If you don't vote for them, you won't keep getting those benefits.
That's right.
I would rather, how about this? Rather than you give me stuff, how about you just let me keep my stuff? I'm all for that. How about you let me go, let me be free to go and earn what I want to earn, or earn what I can earn, as opposed to handing me what you're willing to hand me. No, I'm not down for that. Not down for that at all. Tell me and by the way, tell me if any of these guys seem familiar in this video.
A lot has been said about me today through anonymous allegations.
Sexual relations with that woman.
That you see and hear from me directly.
I never
These
told
allegations
anybody
of
to
sexual
lie.
assault
Not a
flat,
single time.
False.
Never.
They're absolutely false.
These allegations
they did not
are
happen.
false.
They have never
And
happened.
I need to
And
go
I will
back to
fight
work
them with
for the
everything that I
American.
have.
So remember I said, Craig, I'm a firm believer in when there's smoke, when there's fire. You got 5 people there that were accused of allegations. 4 of them so far were found guilty. Okay.
Yes.
The other one, Graham, it's just a matter of time. I'm willing to, the innocent until proven guilty.
Mhm.
Allegations are what they are. But it's clearly a trend, I would say.
Yes, it is definitely a trend. And like I said, what's familiar in particular when it comes to Eric Swalwell and Graham Platner is, from what I'm understanding, none of this stuff we're talking about right now is new. All of this stuff is known, and Democrats supported them anyway.
That's right.
The only reason why it's become an issue is because the public has turned on him, and therefore also now is turning on them.
And listen, the Democrats like a candidate with some dirt because they get to hold out. The party gets to hold out over the individual. And they say, listen, we supported you. We gave you money. We got you elected. You owe us every vote we want.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. All right, folks. Well, hey, that's going to be it for today's program. But before we go, we're going to give one more quick shout out to our sponsors.
Yep, Hitman Industries, hitmanindustries.net. Get on over there, get yourself some AR barrels. They got rifle caliber, pistol caliber, any length you desire. That's hitmanindustries.net. California Republican Assembly, fighting the good fight behind enemy lines. They can take part in California's future today. And if you want the best in field gear, tactical gear, web gear, law enforcement, security, fire, EMS, whatever you may want, get your group together, get your agency together, place an order at uscombatgear.com, where you get everything except the gun.
That's right, folks. Please take a moment, visit our sponsors by following the links in the description to this program. Go there, check them out, spend some money with them. Tell them it was the guys over at the Rundown that sent you. We will be back tomorrow on Hump Day. Till then, y'all have fun. Y'all stay safe. See ya mañana.